What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Just got home from work and I decided I'm going to just try to do this review before I do anything else. So it's Friday, end of another trading week. We 1 week down for February, and I'm going over the price action on Nasdaq 100 or NQ, and pretty much looking at the rest of the indices that I trade. So let's get right into the video. Took a few trades today, none really profitable. I'm going to show you. Let me just show you from now what we did. So this is how I ended the week or today. I lost 1.5%. Well, $150 really. And the trades that I took today, I was stuck in my sell bias, and without being precise, I paid the price. So today we sold off yesterday and the previous days very hard, and today is basically a TGIF Friday. So I didn't expect such a strong reversal here, but we came up and we actually ran the previous daily high, which was Thursday's high. We ran the previous daily low from right out the bat. So we didn't open with a gap going into Thursday night. We just opened normal. We came down, and once we ran the previous daily low, I should have realized no, this has the potential to reverse. But I was still thinking we would have reversed to a portion and then continue selling off. So I was looking at sells, but we came back to trade into this new day opening gap, and that was the draw on liquidity. The previous daily high and this new week opening gap, new day opening gap, I should say. So it's pretty much the same thing on SPX 500. So try to refresh this. Pretty much the same thing on SPX 500. We actually closed above the previous daily high, and we actually flipped the weekly candle green. So leaving a long wick down here, this is some strong buying action from the bulls. They really step back in today um, and give us some nice action. And Nasdaq was the one that got hit the hardest with the sells, so it's still down from the recent highs. This now pretty much back close to all-time highs. We took out the liquidity to the downside, so possible that we could just easily run back to the upside. Gold recovering as well after selling off. US 30, big one today. We made new all-time highs. The first time the Dow um, hitting over 50,000. So we closed above 50,000 for the first time today. We've been accumulating in this range. I was expecting us to actually sell off, but we actually got buys. So we bought right up. This indicator kind of tripping because it's the weekend. So that's all we did right there. That's the 4 hour. Looking at the 1 hour, this is how we looked. So today, just going to look at NQ today based on how we traded down. So see, initially right where we opened, we just came down, ran the lows, came back up, retested, and then we just pretty much bought right through. Tried to take some buys on an account in London or late Asia, but those weren't the cleanest moves, and I got stopped out because the move actually wasn't ready yet. So see, we came down, retested this order block and just ran. In New York, we just came down, tapped into this fair value gap right here, barely, like just a slight tap in, and just ran. Just bought right up. So right here is where we tap into it, like just barely wicking below the previous candles, and then now we just ran for the highs. Actually came up and ran above um, the previous daily high, like I was saying earlier. The template should actually show me, but this thing not loading the new data, so I leave it at that. Let's now look at the 15-minute chart and see what we look like. So 15-minute, same thing again. I was looking at this thing in Asia, and the buys, the perfect entry came right in the 12 a.m. macro, right inside of that window right there. We actually bought right up. So we ran the previous daily low, kind of spiked down, and I probably should have just exited majority of my sales here. But I wanted more. I wanted to see more downside because I've been wanting this market to pull down a bit more. So we came down, then we pushed up, missed this nice clean buy. This would have been a nice retracement buy, going to the upside. And this was early Asia. I was on my way from work right here. So we bought up, came back down to retest during late Asia, going into London. Midnight open occurred right here. Tested the fair value gap and we ran, pushed up. This was a pretty decent push. Then we had another fair value gap test here, or you could use this two candle as a order block. And then we just started to rally there. So this is London rally, kind of bit consolidated, going into the New York main session, and right at New York got a beautiful push up and a nice sell going before 10, and then we just came right back down here, tested this level, and then we just bought for the rest of the day. Tried to sell it a few times inside of here, and I should have just recognized that we weren't going to sell and just call it a day. But I forced the sales, and the account paid the price. As I say, I lost $150. I took quite a few entries. A lot of them went into profit, but you know, it is what it is. So let me show you now the executions on the account. So let me show you right there. So I got stopped out on the swing that I was holding from the previous day, and these were the sell opportunities that I tried to take today in the day. All right. So these were the sales that I tried to take. Um, should have recognized that we were buying, but again, trading from the phone isn't the most ideal, but it's what I have to do right now. So I took some entries, they went into profit a bit, and then they just went against me. Was expecting a bit more follow through, but that didn't happen. Close out majority of these only for it to come up, and then we got a nice drop here. This was the ideal entry using this level as a nice fair value gap. This was right around the 10 a.m. Yeah, man, this was around 9 to 10 right there. 9:30 to 10. We had this move. So this was the perfect sell trade and the only sell opportunity that actually made sense. So this is actually, yeah, this is 9:30 right here. Came back down, push back up, and that was the main trading for sales. So we had this sell off from the inversion. This is 9:30 and this is around 11. So this is the 9 o'clock candle. This is the 10 o'clock candle. So going into 10:30 there about before we got that sell. I was expecting us to hold here or at least run the highs and then continue. I took another small position here and I got stopped out and those. So yeah, a few losses right there, but it is what it is. I didn't get a chance to even re-enter because by then I just say, you know what, let me just leave this thing alone. but this was a nice entry opportunity to go long right here, and then a beautiful one inside the macro right around, so that been the 11 a.m. candle. Not even much manipulation, but right here entry, and within 60 minutes, 30 minutes, you would have gotten a nice risk to reward if it stops below here, and then we just continue just running for the rest of the day. Consolidated and just kept pushing up to end the day all the way up here. So let me let me actually show you now the trades on trading view. So let me go to trading view and show you the entries and the opportunities that we got. So like I said, the previous daily low was here. This is the new day opening gap, and immediately right out the bat we had a change in state of delivery right here around 7 that we got a buy. Nice inversion here. This is a bit early in the session, but still valid entry, catching it at the low of the day. Then we came up. This is like a 15-minute change in the state right here, and this was the when the 1 hour candle flipped back green, and this was the first indication to say, you know what, going actually buy. So we had a 15-minute inversion and thing here. First buy entry inside this macro, another one here outside the macro window, but still valid, and this gave us a very nice push before we consolidated sideways, and this was a nice little sell off. I thought we would have probably sold from here, but this was when I was on the chart, and it wasn't the cleanest during this time. So right from around 9 o'clock to around midnight, so about 4 hours, three and a half hours about. And I went to bed right around here when we got the perfect entry to go long. So we came back down into this small order block, and this is the 15-minute fair value gap that I'm looking at here that we actually bought from. So this was the perfect entry here to go long. Buying right here, stops right below here, and targeting previous daily high if your bias had flipped. So we had that entry there, we came up, this one consolidated right around Frankfurt, came back down, London open, gave us another entry. So London right there, came up, came back down, we had another inversion right around 3 a.m. and inside the 250 to 310 macro that we had another entry. A bit wider stop, but still a valid chain. The market giving us some very large ranges, so even Asia and London, you have to expect that the stop's going to be a bit wide based on your entries. So this would have been a beautiful risk to reward if you held, but we came up, came back down, and just continued pushing. So one entry there, another one there right around 4 a.m. This is in the morning for some continuation here. A nice little entry here as well. You could have entered on the breakout from here, and we just continued pushing. Another entry at around 5 a.m. macro, and then another one here catching the breakout right around 6. So this is the beginning of the 6 candle. So this is the beginning of a new 4 hour right here. So this one closed up here. And by then I should have realized that you know what was going long, but I was still expecting some sells. So I was looking at price here and said this looked like a sell model. And right around 7 a.m. we did get a bit of a pullback, because if I do measure this, this is a nice actual, let me see, a nice about 100 points, at least 100 points there, range there. And this is the area where I got tripped up. So 9:30 we open right here, and immediately we just shoot off to the upside, came back down, and this was the beautiful inversion. So this is where I take majority of the trades and got stopped out. So that is the reason why I mark it with this level, this yellow thing that I had here. So this was a sell that came down and I went into about 3/4% almost profit. And I should have just exited here. I didn't even go break even because I was expecting this to come back up, retest here, and then continue selling. But clearly, I should have read the price and realized we disrespecting fair value gaps to the upside right here. We respected this little order block level right here, but the 9:30, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock here isn't the cleanest. And if you realize this is where we open for 10, nice little manipulation down, and this is the manipulation on the 4 hour, and another one at 11, somewhere around here. So this candle close not so clean, but it is the 4 hour manipulation, and that is when we just took off to the upside. So 11 gave us a buy opportunity, and going into midday, we had another inversion during this macro to continue higher. Nice buy here. A little bit of a sideways, some pullbacks inside of here, but still valid. Even inside of here, we had another one. And we just continued pushing up. So sideways, no selling, and just pushing up. Came back into this little level, and another entry there to go long, sideways again, and going into the PM session. We respected this little fair value gap. I think it's a 5 minute fair value gap, and then we just push again. So sideways for 2 p.m. and right at power hour around 4 3. So three, the 250 to 310 macro going into power hour, we had a nice inversion. On the PO3 up in there, and we had a nice another 150 point almost run right there. So that's how we ended the day. So we ended. I'm thinking I really need to lock in and focus. I need to stop trading from the phone or just be patient. I didn't need to take so much trades, but it's a part of the process. I'm just trying to secure some of these accounts so can start getting some payouts. But you know, it is what it is. So until next time, guys, see the battery dying here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow or next week for another video. Peace.